Welcome to the podcast, Living by Oak Values. My name is Robert, and I host this podcast with my friend Gary. Join us today as we dive deep and share meaningful stories and discuss the values that help shape our lives. We will explore how we use these values to guide us through life, shaping our decisions and our relationships and raising our kids. We embrace a journey of personal growth, navigating our own path, and we are committed to living by these values and passing them on to our children. We are thrilled to have you here today and can't wait to share our latest episodes. Whether you're a longtime listener or now just discovering us, welcome. Feel free to introduce yourselves in the comments below and check us out at northmancoaching.com. You're welcome to join our Northman Legacy crew and let us know what topics you're most interested in hearing about. Sign up with your emails for behind the scenes, sneak peeks, and exciting updates. We hope you enjoy today's episode. Happy listening. And this week, Gary and I will be discussing the value of balance and what it's like to live a much freeing life that is well balanced and aligns with your true self. Gary, what is balance on the card today?
Balance on the card today. Balance is described as equal mental and emotional steadiness.
There's a quote by Jana Kingsford. A balanced life is not something you find. It is something you create. So how do you think you balance your life?
Well, so I feel like my life is not always balanced. I try to keep it balanced, but as new situations come up or new plans and new things, that it has to be rebalanced, if that makes sense. So like right now, it's summertime, so I'm working a lot, and I love going to the beach and hanging out with my daughter, but I have to balance that out. So I have to, set my goals so I know what my goals are. I make a to-do list. That always helps me with just checking things off, knowing I got them done. I try to determine my values based on the balance or based on what I want to do at this point in time. I break up based on what's most important to me to the least most important to me, and I try to give it all a fair amount of my time.
Wow, that actually sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Yes, living a balanced life. It's so good to live a balanced lifestyle, like for your mental health, your physical health, and all that. But it is a challenge to keep it balanced. It's once you're balanced, it doesn't stay that way. Things change every day.
There was a guy that was asking me about what do I do to find happiness? And I was like, nah, I don't necessarily look for happiness. I go search for peace and balance in my life. The best image I can use to describe it is if there's a pendulum swinging between drama and calmness, drama and peace. I'm sitting there in the middle trying to hold on to that pendulum to keep it from moving. That's my time spent trying to find things that keeps that pendulum. I don't want a lot of drama in my life. It's going to swing back and forth. So when there's drama, you're pulling it towards peace. And when sometimes there's peace, it swings back to drama.
So how do you balance that pendulum?
That takes work. It isn't easy. It's a matter of being intentional. It also takes practice. Sometimes you do something and you would say something to get away from the drama, and it creates more drama, snowball effect. So you've just, instead of pulled it back to peace, you've pushed it further into the drama zone, and you're like, that didn't work. So next time I know to handle it better or handle it a different way. And that goes setting boundaries with people. Setting boundaries with people really help me understand that helps balance my life, keeps balance in my life, because I got the drama out of my life.
Yes.
I got kind of stuck on the clock.
Also, we were both former nice guys, or had nice guy syndrome. And a huge thing on keeping a balanced life is learning to say no. Be selective about your commitments that you're taking on. If it's something that you don't want to do or you truly don't have time, then say no.
Yeah. About time management, allowing yourself to rest. Don't overwork yourself where you're not actually putting the time aside to get rest and reflection.
Yep.
That is a good balanced life, is to have that.
That actually reminds me of the last podcast, or a few weeks ago, we had Jen Gray on, and she was talking about peace. And with her job, she had mentioned something about time blocking. So she has a certain period of time that she does not take clients or calls or do any work because it's time for her and her kids. Time blocking is also, will help with make sure you have time for your rest, time for your reflection.
And who you hang around with also.
Absolutely.
Your social circles, like being on Facebook too much, can really throw you out of balance.
Yeah, I suppose I'm on there quite a bit, but it could throw you off balance, I guess.
But like who you hang around with could throw you out of balance because you're always peer pressured to follow them or to keep up with the Joneses, or that you're not being your authentic self. And that gets you out of balance.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one.
Oh, throw it down, brother.
Well, for me personally, I don't think that I'm someone different when I'm on Facebook. I go on there to see, there's people that are looking for help, or, different posts that maybe I can have input and, assist somebody in making a better choice in life. But I never stray from who I am.
I can see that. I really can see that. But a lot of people do get get lured into peer pressure from social media.
Oh, you're 100% correct. In fact, I think it was a study. I could be making this whole thing up, but there was I want to say I've read something about a study where people go online and post all kinds of pictures and how awesome their life is, and it's really not that awesome, and it's just a matter of showing off. And I see that a lot. Yeah. But I can't say that it's not real. I mean, it could be someone's life. I don't know. It's probably not. But yeah, people do go on, social media, and they embellish how awesome their life is.
Well, there's another aspect of my life where I balance out, is I don't overshare my adventures. I feel like I'm purposely putting my adventures in your face, and it's throwing me out of balance, or it could be throwing them out of balance. And sure. I don't want to be doing that.
You were talking earlier about the person that asked you about happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you tell them?
Well, I told them that I don't necessarily go searching for happiness anymore.
Okay.
My goal is to go find things that make me that I find peaceful or content. And so I can relate it to balance is because I'm trying to offset sad. At first, it was used to offset the sad memories by just saying, hey, well, this is what you like to do. It may not make you happy, but at least it brings you peace, I guess, sure. Or content.
Well, so when you say that, it's not something that you just have, it's something that you have to seek or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
That's a lot like that quote that we found by Janet Kingsford. Yes. She said, a balanced life is not something you find, it's something that you create.
Yeah.
And it's so true. You cannot just find balanced life. If you could, let me know where to look, because I will start looking right now.
One of the hardest things that, and my struggle is losing weight.
Okay.
Is a constant balance. How much do I eat? How much do I exercise? Am I doing it right? Did I do it wrong? What did I do this week to mess it up? And it's not just a quick, oh, you lost 10 pounds this week. Good job. But because I'm going to gain it back the next week. It's a constant journey, and it's a slow balance. It's kind of like slowly balancing where my body needs to be.
Mm-hmm. It is about balancing. I mean, when you're trying to lose weight, it's about balancing the exercise versus the food intake. Absolutely. Yep. That is 100% on it.
What are some challenges you face in trying to balance your life?
Lately, I don't have any challenges with it. I balance it. Now that I determine what's valuable to me, and I look at the time that I have and what I want to do. So it's not that hard now. There's not many challenges. But prior to this work, it was nothing but challenges, because I was a people pleaser. I didn't know how to say no. So I was always, yes, we can do this. Yes, we'll do that. We'll do this and that. And I have to go to work and get sleep and see this person and that person, or they're going to be mad at me if I don't see them. My life was more chaotic than balanced. There was no peace, nothing but chaos. And I would say the majority of my days, I was just, spinning my wheels, just, not balancing anything. Because I had so many things that I had to do, and I didn't have my list like I have lists now. So nothing got done. That was my biggest challenge. I would have a day off of work or a week off, and I would have all these ideas, and that were going to make me just a great dad, a great friend, just a great guy all around. And nothing got done because I couldn't say no to people, and I just did not know how to figure out what things were important to me and what things were not, and it was a mess.
Mm.
So that was my biggest challenge, but that is definitely changed since then.
You remind me of the quote we looked up, that life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you have to keep moving forward. By Albert Einstein. Yeah.
And it's funny because if you think about it, and I don't know, I cannot really remember the details of when I learned how to ride a bicycle. But I do remember teaching my daughter to ride a bicycle, and she could not get that thing to stay on two wheels. She rode into bushes all the time because she didn't know how to steer it. But it's so simple for us because we've been doing it for years. Turn the handlebars. You want to move, look in the direction you want to go. But she could not figure this out, and it actually reminds me of that's what my life was like before I started this work. Before I was able to be balanced, like I was just all over the place and falling down and making wrong turns and everything. So riding a bike, that's a good one.
That's the other thing, and I got a story with my daughter riding a bicycle. I kept telling her, what's the worst thing that would happen? What, you fall over? And so I would just go up to her and just push her over, and she'd fall onto the ground. That also is part of balance, is that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall down, and you just get back up and try again. And you'll sooner or later get your life in balance.
Mm-hmm. Not only try again, but learn from the mistake.
Yeah, learn. Yeah.
Because I've had that problem too, where I make the same mistake over and over and over.
Yeah.
And once I learn, then I'm better.
Yep.
I think that was like my pivotal moment in living a balanced life, was when I realized that my life was just chaotic. That and there's only two people in this world that I want to make happy, and that's me and my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't make me happy and I can't make her happy, then something's going wrong. That was the pivotal moment when I realized that my life was in shambles. It was chaotic, and I needed to really get organized and determine what was important, my values, and then to do the time blocking and set a schedule for this. There's too much time for this, so much time for that, and get it done.
I was very similar. I had a lot of things to do. I would constantly be busy, and nothing would get done. And I would put other people's needs above mine. I lived a chaotic lifestyle, and it took me a long time to get it in balance. It was like, have you ever seen the guy juggling the dishes?
Yep.
And they just he puts them on a stick, and they just keep constantly dropping and falling and crashing. That was my life. I was like trying to juggle dishes all the time. Instead of just focusing on juggling my one dish, I was helping other people juggle their dishes, and they were all just constantly falling. That was my life.
Yeah, I see that. But that also goes back to, being the nice guy, not being able to say no.
Yeah.
That you were helping other people with their dishes before you had control of your dish.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a crazy lifestyle,
Yeah.
Real quick for the listeners out there, I just want to let them know that this episode is brought to you by Northman Coaching Oak Value Cards. And if you're looking for a little boost in motivation and self-improvement, then check out the cards on our website and empower yourself with our motivational and insightful core value cards. Enter promo code BALANCE for 10% off for the rest of this year. So, Rob, you have a joke, don't you, about balance?
Yeah. So speaking about keeping our life in balance, there was a joke about a tightrope walker.
Okay.
Why did the tightrope walker go to school?
No idea.
He had to learn to keep his life in balance.
Right.
Walking that tightrope.
So let me balance that joke out with another one.
Oh, okay.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award for having a balanced life?
Sitting on a stick? I don't know.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Actually, that was pretty good.
That's my drum roll thing, whatever. Yeah.
Cool. We're going to have to get you a small drum kit.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
The first thing we went over is that you have to take control of your own life. What
Yes.
are other little things that they can do to help maintain balance in their life, or start their life to get balance?
Well, I said a lot of things in the beginning,
Yeah.
but I think the biggest thing, if your life is in shambles, or if you're balancing everyone's dishes right now, I think the biggest thing is to, number one, determine your values. Determine what is, and that's not necessarily your core values, but what is important to you right now that you need to balance?
Mm.
You know, is it your work life? Is it your play life? Is it working out? Is it your kids? Figure out which is the most important part and put that on the top. And then once you have done that, then make a list of what you can do to live, you know, to make that priority, but also make room for work and play and everything else.
Yeah.
Like I said, learn to say no, make that list. And then the biggest thing is once you have that list, I think, is to set your goals.
Mm-hmm.
So say it out loud. You know, this is what we're doing today. You know, we're going to wake up in the morning and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go for a run. Then we're going to go to the beach for an hour.
Time management too.
Yes. Yep. But that's part of the list and you know, and time blocking and whatnot, time management as well.
Time blocking. Yep.
You're going to go to the beach. You're going to spend a few hours there. After the beach, I have to go to work. I'm going to spend a few hours at work, come home, and then we'll do something, whatever you want, you know, but you have to set that schedule.
Yeah. Setting boundaries with people. You're going to have to tell people no.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Like right now, like with the podcast and all the, and the work that we do with Northman Coaching, I have my daughter every other week and I don't do, you know, videos of podcasting on the weeks that she's here because that is her time. That is my time with her and her time with me, not work time.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's not my week. She's away on vacation. And so now I do my normal job and we'll do the podcasting. I'll make videos. I'll do whatever I need to do now. And then next week when she's back, it's time for me and her.
Now, you know, one thing we didn't talk about yet.
What's that?
That we both do differently is mindful meditation.
Yes.
And reflections.
Yes. So how do you do it?
I love to take long drives in the classic car. I'll sit there and take long drives, enjoy, not necessarily space out, but just enjoy the beautiful roads and views and I just reflect on my day as I'm driving and listening to a good audiobook at that. It just brings me centered back to the middle of the pendulum swing.
That's good. Riding that pendulum, huh?
Yeah. How about you?
Well, for me, I do the actual meditation. Like I will intentionally sit in one spot and try just to release everything that I want to release and get into a nice meditative state. If it's a beautiful day out, I'll go outside and I'll do that. And I'll listen to nature. You know, I love to meditate with a full moon. I'll go down to the beach with the full moon and I'll harness the moon's energy and I'll listen to the waves crashing. Yeah, so I do that, and then and while I'm meditating, that's my time for reflection and appreciation and gratitude. It all comes in right there with being mindful.
You just said another one.
Okay.
What helped me at first was a gratitude journal. Early on, doing the 3 or 4 things you're thankful for every day, and I think it was for 6 months or something like that. It was very helpful to get me back into practice of gratitude, got me more heading back centered.
So when you do that gratitude, that's for you, right?
Yes.
And same with me. I show gratitude. I don't keep a gratitude journal anymore, but I did. That it was for me. But it's funny. So looking at other people doing it. So a friend of mine, she just started doing every day. She's doing this gratitude thing on Facebook, and she's never done anything like that before. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, impressive. Like to see someone else show gratitude, it lets you know that person is that they appreciate the little things in life. So I know that if you're doing gratitude journal, or if I do one, or if I show gratitude, like we know that we appreciate things in life. And that's the same with her also. Like when someone can truly show gratitude, they know how to appreciate the things in life. And if you can appreciate things, then it will help you also balance your life out.
Yeah. The last but not least is adequate amount of sleep.
I win.
You do. I don't get a lot of sleep, and maybe that's part of it, but I know you sleep
I sleep 8 hours, man. 8 hours.
Yeah.
So I have my health app set to 7 hours, and I would like to get 8, but 7 is sufficient. And I usually get right around 6.5 to 7.5.
I don't get that much. I get 5 to 6, but
also now I know that you measure your sleep, right? Like same as me.
Yep.
But
I do.
if you're hitting all your marks, then that's all you need, I guess, right?
Yep. And I talked to the doctor about it, and she was like, as long as you're getting enough the REM sleep, and it's because I'm going to sleep faster and staying in deeper sleep longer, or something like that. How do you teach your daughter to have a balanced life?
The same exact way that I just shared with our listeners.
Really?
I ask her, what's important, and if what she has important is not important, I let her know that I think that there are other things that have a bigger priority. But once she gets that down, like what's important and makes that list, then we go over it. I mean, she's 12. So she's like riding that bicycle and it's not really riding very well. She's all over the place. So we get that list together, figure out what's important, why it's important. And then we I have her set the timer on her phone or her iPad so that we know at this time if we stop what we're doing and we move to the next thing.
Mm.
So that is how I teach her. And I don't think that, in fact, I know that nobody taught me that as a kid. And if they did and they're listening, I'm sorry, I didn't pick up on it. So I think that helping her with, the list of what's important and the time management part, that she will have a much more balanced life than I ever did.
No, that's the goal. I can't say that I do a lot much or better than you do. My daughter, she's very independent. And so she gets up and does her things and don't really have to ask more than twice on a lot of things. And for the most part, she seems to have a balanced life. And maybe what I can do better is ask her how well she is balancing her life. Having that discussion with her and seeing what is out of balance in her life.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's like asking people if they know their values, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best question you could ask her would be, what is not in balance at this point in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Or what is in balance, but not, are you balanced? Because you can look at somebody falling off a bicycle and ask them, are they balanced? Pretty clear no, right?
So what advice would you give somebody who is struggling to find balance in their life?
Well, if they have listened to what I've already said and they're still struggling, then I think the biggest thing that you could redo is finding your values and understanding what's important. And maybe you're picking the wrong values. You're thinking it's important or it sounds important, but it's not important to you. If you have listened to this podcast or worked with me on how to be balanced and you're still not getting it, you have to circle back to really finding what's valuable to you. So, and back to what you said earlier, it's not what you do with your daughter is not better or worse than what I do. I'm not trying to be that better or worse.
Yeah.
Everybody has different things. And your daughter is also 3 or 4 years older than my daughter. I don't even know.
4
years older. So obviously, and we both started this work at almost the same time.
Yeah.
So the advantage that I have with that is that I have the ability to teach my daughter some of the things that I'm discovering. Disadvantages for you is that it's hard to teach an older kid new things. But for you, the positive side would be that she's already a go-getter. Mm-hmm. She's very independent. That's great. Like, I have to wake my daughter up for school when I get up for work because she takes that long. And I have so many things that I have to do with I do my breath work, my meditation, get my lunch ready, get showered, work out, dressed, that if I wake her up late, that she will not be ready for school. Mm-hmm. I have to get her up almost the same time that I get up just so she can get her things done and I can get my things done. And I give her the list of what she needs to get done.
And to all our listeners out there, if you find yourself needing balance, leave us a comment or email us, Gary at Northman Coaching or Robert at Northman Coaching. And if you would like to go further or deeper on this topic, reach out to us. We want to know you and hear your powerful story. Chat or connect with us by booking a free session on our website, northmancoaching.com. And folks, that's a wrap on today's episode. And of course, thank you all out there for listening. We're so glad that you could join us today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Living by Oak Values. And if you feel generous, leave us a review. It really helps us out and keeps these conversations going. For more updates and exclusive contents, follow us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, or visit our website, northmancoaching.com. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode that you don't want to miss. Until then, keep discussing your values, embracing the journey, take care, and stay authentic.